Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone.
So we'll get everyone to guess where we are. And now you may think this is obvious, but a lot of people will get it wrong.
Yeah, they confuse it with another.
Don't give it away, mate. Don't give it away.
I won't. I'm with you.
You're with me, all right.
Put it in the comments if you know where we are.
Yeah.
You won't get a prize. But it's not all about prizes anyway. But I'll click like on your comment if you get it right.
Yeah. So it's such a beautiful day also, which is quite surprising.
Yeah.
And so we're just here to read the Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's go ahead. And we're starting a new chapter today.
Yes.
Also. Chapter 23. Go ahead.
Chapter 23, which is Devahuti's lamentation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya. Usually we say it's the third canto also.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And chapter 1. But,
sorry.
And the name of the third canto?
The name of the third canto, jeepers, the status quo. Not the group. Some of you may know that group.
Okay.
Alright. Text 1. Maitreya continued. After the departure of her parents, the chaste wife Devahuti, who could understand the desires of her husband, served him constantly with great love. As Bhavani, the wife of Lord Shiva, serves her husband. Purport. The specific example of Bhavani is very significant. Bhavani means the wife of Bhava, or Lord Shiva. My dad used to call me Bhavani. My name's not Bhavani, mind you, but...
No, but your name's Bhava, which is the name of Lord Shiva here.
Bhavani, or Parvati, the daughter of the king of the Himalayas, selected Lord Shiva, who appears to be just like a beggar, as her husband. In spite of her being a princess, she undertook all kinds of tribulations to associate with Lord Shiva, who did not even have a house, but was sitting underneath the trees and passing his time in meditation.
Sounds familiar.
Although Bhavani was the daughter of a very great king, she used to serve Lord Shiva just like a poor woman. Similarly, Devahuti was the daughter of an emperor, Swayambhuva Manu, yet she preferred to accept Kardama Muni as her husband. She served him with great love and affection, and she knew how to please him. Therefore, she is designated here as Sadhvi, which means a chaste, faithful wife. Her rare example is the ideal of Vedic civilization. Every woman is expected to be as good and chaste as Devahuti or Bhavani. But we need decent husbands for that. That was my point, not Prabhupada. Today, in Hindu society, unmarried girls are still taught to worship Lord Shiva with the idea that they may get husbands like him. It's interesting.
We brought this up before, but it's worth noting again that you did that, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, in those of you in Hindu culture will understand. It's quite.
That might be
normal.
A deterrent to everyone out there, though.
That you have to fast as an unmarried girl, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I was tortured because I didn't get food for a week.
Well, you got some food. It's not.
I got fruit and it's like sweet stuff which I don't care for. And I just didn't. I couldn't. After 5 years, I said, "Mom, that's enough. I've had enough. Why am I doing this anyway?"
Just imagine what might have happened if you'd have continued. Look what you got stuck with. At 5 years, you should have gone on for another 10. You might have actually been successful in getting a husband like Lord Shiva.
It was only for 5 days in a year. I still couldn't take it.
It was only 5 days in a year. Good Lord.
Yeah. Right, today in Hindu society, unmarried girls are still taught to worship Lord Shiva with the idea that they may get husbands like him. Lord Shiva is the ideal husband, not in the sense of riches or sense gratification, but because he is the greatest of all devotees.
Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu.
Oh, okay. Shambhu, or Lord Vishnu, Shiva, is the ideal Vaishnava. He constantly meditates upon Lord Ram and chants Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lord Shiva has a Vaishnava Sampradaya, which is called the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya. Unmarried girls worship Lord Shiva so that they can expect a husband who is as good a Vaishnava as he.
What's happening? No, it's a bug on the screen.
Oh, I got freaked. Okay, there's a bug on my phone. It better go away by the time I pick it up.
Carry on.
The girls are not taught to select a husband who is very rich or very opulent for material sense gratification. Rather, if a girl is fortunate enough to get a husband as good as Lord Shiva in devotional service, then her life becomes perfect. The wife is dependent on the husband, and if the husband is a Vaishnava, then naturally she shares the devotional service of the husband because she renders him service. This reciprocation of service and love between husband and wife is the ideal of a householder's life. It's interesting because now you don't get that, and maybe you might experience of other friends and the wider triangle, circle. I don't want to get sued, but the mood is what are you talking about? You got to marry a lawyer, doctor. How much money does he have? What's their family background? What do they have? No one's looking at the pious characteristics or this or that. No way. Right.
If he's a Vaishnava, that might even be a
deterrent.
Deterrent or disadvantage.
Yeah, he's going to give all your money away, and most ain't got any money because he's just doing Hari Bhakti. It's just so it's interesting how different it is now, as it were, because that would have been something considered prized and dear to have that type of a husband, in the bygone days.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing, I was just listening to the 6th canto narrations by Krishna Dharma Prabhu and the Brilliant as the Sun series, and talks about Daksha, and after his 2 sets of 10,000 sons or 1,000 sons were deterred to brahmachari life by Narada Muni. Then he had all these daughters and he got them all married, but he invited all the demigods and the sages to come, so it's like, and many of them actually married Kardama Muni. Actually, I think he was the husband of many of them. So no, it wasn't Kardama Muni, it was Kashyapa Muni. That's it. Kashyapa Muni, Aditi's husband. So many of them married Kashyapa Muni. And so he's a wealthy, aristocratic Prajapati, and still it was held in high regards that if your daughter marries a Muni or marries a Sadhu, then it's a good thing, So it's interesting. Okay, so next text 2. O Vidura, Devahuti served her husband with intimacy and great respect, with control of the senses, with love, and with sweet words. Here, 2 words are very significant. Devahuti served her husband in 2 ways. Vishrambena, and Gaudavena.
It's like a 60-year-old man on a
skateboard. But there's a whole long street. Why does he got to do it? Anyway, Vishrambena and Gauravena. These are 2 important processes in serving the husband of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is important information, all you ladies out there. And Vishrambena means with intimacy, and Gaudavena means with great reverence. The husband is a very intimate friend. Therefore, the wife must render service just like an intimate friend. and at the same time she must understand that the husband is superior in position, and thus she must offer him all respect. Okay, now listen closely, because you might be thinking, what, who's superior, what is all this male chauvinist? But listen, a man's psychology and a woman's psychology are different. So long before men are from Mars, women are from Venus, Srila Prabhupada was saying, quoting the Vedic, Vedic psychology. As constituted by bodily frame, a man always wants to be superior to his wife, and a woman, as bodily constituted, is naturally inferior to her husband. So Srila Prabhupada makes it very clear here that this is a bodily thing. So generally men are larger framed, and they're like, they would generally try to find a woman whose frame is smaller of stature, and they're like, they're the protector, shielder, like that. So thus the natural instinct is that the husband wants to post himself as superior to the wife, and this must be observed. Even if there is some wrong on the part of the husband, the wife must tolerate it. I'll repeat that again. Even if there is some...
Sorry, there's a bug in front of me.
It's really important for you to listen to. Even if there is some wrong on the part of the husband, and in my case lots of wrong, the wife must tolerate it, and thus there will be no misunderstanding between husband and wife.
That's asking a lot.
Yeah, it is. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Chanada Pisuni Chena Torda Pisahishana Mani Namana Dana. That one should be more humble than a tree, more humble than the blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respect to others, without expecting any respect in return.
Right.
And we should wear that verse on a thread of the holy name around our neck and never forget it. How about that? So yeah, but it's true, it is difficult to accept that there's some wrong on the part of someone else and not just tolerate it, because generally we want justice, right? Anyway, Vishwambena means with intimacy, but it must not be familiarity that breeds contempt. According to the Vedic civilization, a wife cannot call her husband by name. That's Vedic culture. So generally the wife would call the husband Pati or Swami, or Prabhu, like that.
Yeah, that's how it is in my family, and I never understood who my auntie was calling, because she called another name for my uncle. I was like, why don't you just call him by his name? I realised you get older, you realise, no, she's not saying his name,
In the present civilization, the wife calls her husband by name. But in Hindu civilization, she does not. Thus, the inferiority and superiority complexes are recognized. Dhamena cha. A wife has to learn to control herself even if there is a misunderstanding. Sardena vacha madhuraya means always desiring good for the husband and speaking to him with sweet words. A person becomes agitated by so many material contacts in the outside world. Therefore, in his home life, he must be treated by his wife with sweet words. I rest my blinking case, man.
I think that says a lot. I think if people read this, like your auntie or whatever, they'd freak out. But actually, it's actually complimenting women, because it's explaining how inferior the men are, that you have to keep, like children, pushing them up and bolstering them up and allowing it, because us women can do that and at the same time get on with life.
However you got to see it, but still, just give sweet words. Whatever your mentality has to be. You need to justify it. Yeah, well, no, but the point is, like, the home life should be, satisfactory. It should be nice. But of course,
But that doesn't mean, disclaimer, that if you're in any danger or you're being abused or...
That's right, and that's
because this whole thing is also over the time, this mood, in Indian culture, and this has been abused, like, obviously things in other cultures. So that doesn't mean I just keep my mouth shut and I'm in a situation that isn't so nice,
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that but it doesnesn't mean that there won't be difficult times.
No, but that's different. But I'm talking about actual abuse and danger and inappropriateness.
Yeah.
Then we don't
condone that.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Then there's no need for sweet words. Yeah. Call me, I'll let you know what to do. That's a joke, by the way. Alright, have we got time for one more? Have we?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, text
Sure, why
not? Text 3. Working sanely and diligently, she pleased her very powerful husband, giving up all lust, pride, envy, greed, sinful activities, and vanity. Purport. Here are some of the qualities of a great husband's great wife. Karma Muni is great by spiritual qualification. Such a husband is called Teji Yamsham, most powerful. Sounds Chinese, didn't it? I'll have a Teji Yamsham with noodles.
Krishna
Hari. How'd you pronounce it then?
No, that's right. Teji Yamsham.
Although a wife may be equal to her husband in advancement in spiritual consciousness, she should not be vainly proud. Sometimes it appears that the wife comes from a very rich family, as did Devahuti, the daughter of Emperor Swayambhuva Manu. She could have been very proud of her parentage, but that is forbidden. The wife should not be proud of her parental position. She must always be submissive to the husband and must give up all vanity. As soon as the wife becomes proud of her parentage, her pride creates great misunderstanding between the husband and wife, and their nuptial life is ruined. Devahuti was very careful about that, and therefore it is said here that she gave up pride completely. Devahuti was not unfaithful. The most sinful activity for a wife is to accept another husband or another lover. Chanakya Pandit has described 4 kinds of enemies at home. If the father is in debt, he is considered to be an enemy. If the mother has selected another husband in the presence of her grown-up children, she is considered to be an enemy. Oh dear. If a wife does not live well with her husband but deals very roughly, then she is an enemy. And if a son is a fool, he is also an enemy. Well, there you go. In family life, mother, father, wife and children are assets. But if the wife or mother accepts another husband in the presence of her husband or son, then according to Vedic civilization, she is considered an enemy. A chaste and faithful woman must not practice adultery. That is a greatly sinful act.
Wow, this is like powerful Grihastha ashram stuff, but
yes. So we should be faithful and create an atmosphere at home, both husband and wife, that warrants not wanting to look elsewhere for your comfort, your shelter, your needs. Is it not?
Not it is.
There's that, and
you're correct.
Applying the basics as Prabhupada, it's explained also in Bhagavad Gita, which actually works,
What's that?
Like, because Prabhupada says, I think it's in the 3rd chapter. I'm not a scholar. Just in terms of Grihastha life, there's a nice Prabhupada.
3rd chapter of what? Bhagavad Gita?
Just, offer you, have prasadam, as a family.
Oh,
do
no,
some
this
reading.
isn't the 3rd chapter. This is from the...
I'm not a scholar.
This is from the...
What chapter is it?
This is the 13th chapter, texts 8 through 12.
There you go.
Where it mentions that
there you go.
One should give up wife, family, home, and the rest. And Prabhupada says in the purport that the 4 things that one just needs to do.
Which is read together, have some kid, prasadam,
offer food and worship the deity.
And it's such a simple thing. It might sound, but it is very powerful. And if you do that regularly and consistently, it's pretty amazing. Simple but effective.
Sweet words don't go amiss, though, I gotta say. He didn't mention sweet words. Sweet words tolerate the
I
wrong
like
things.
sweet words as well.
Sweet
Like,
words.
do you want some ice cream?
You said you don't like sweet things.
I like ice cream, just for the record, and sweet rice that's cold, just for the record.
Oh.
If you ever meet me.
God. Okay, we're gonna finish here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. All right, so thank you all very much for tuning in again, and welcome to all our new subscribers. We encourage you, please, if you like these readings, share with others.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it's not about these readings. We're just simply trying to, we're trying to, perfect our spiritual lives by hearing from the Bhagavatam. And we're trying to do that in combination with our Grihastha ashram, which means we like to go for walks, and we like to go to places and see things, but at the same time we know people at home like to see things as well, so these can be attractive. So we try to use everything in Krishna's service, but at the same time we're trying to show that it's, as grihasthas, as couples, get together, read together, take the Bhagavatam with you wherever you go, and hear and chant together. This will help to make your Grihastha ashram a happy place. But sweet words don't go amiss.
Because, ultimately Krishna consciousness is fun and easy. It really is. It's as fun as you can make it, to the degree that you're diving in. And it is easy, actually. It really is. You don't have to make it complicated. All glories to Prabhupada.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.